But Dempsey later told me he was eating all his favorite foods such as fries, cheeseburgers, and beer. And it was the special drink that melted his fat away so fast. When he took that drink every morning, he felt great and was full of energy, bright-eyed and ready for the job at any time.
I remembered this entire incident after Susan came back from the hospital, but I had no way of contacting Dempsey. The clock was ticking, and I knew at that point I had to do something.
There had to be a way to target this dangerous blood protein, or my sister could lose her life, and young Jordan would lose his mommy. Dr. Tamaki had returned to Japan, so I urgently sent an email to the address that he gave to Susan earlier. I waited 3 days for a response, but none came. So that weekend, I got to work like a man possessed, researching medical journals in a library nearby. After a few hours, I finally stumbled on a book and a couple of journals where I found out more about C-reactive protein. In one of the journals, scientists reviewed 7 different studies, proving that C-reactive protein was the single common factor in every overweight man or woman because it shuts down adiponectin, the most important weight loss hormone. In another journal, I found out that CRP was present in almost every one of the deadly health conditions that are killing millions of people. But even if doctors and researchers knew this much, they never mentioned once how to target this dangerous inflammatory blood protein. Instead, every single article on CRP in those medical journals finished with a note about how a big pharma company was working on a new weight loss drug that looked promising, but was still at least a few years away. And this made me mad. Dr. Tamaki had said that in Japan, they would target CRP and jumpstart the master fat-burning hormone using a natural mix of foods, herbs, and spices. Scientists could wipe out the single root cause of the weight gain epidemic and multiple deadly conditions in months if they published this information today. And no medical journal wanted to talk about it?
Then I remembered what Dr. Tamaki said. In Western countries, the treatment focuses only on drugs to manage symptoms once they're present. They never fix the root cause.
And after 3 full days and 7 evenings of research, I had gotten nowhere. What could I do about my sister? How long would her body hold out? I still hadn't received a reply in 3 weeks from the email I sent to Dr. Tamaki. I knew that I could choose to get mad about that too. But if there's one thing being a firefighter has taught me, it's you should never give up. Always keep your head up. Stay positive. I went to my email inbox and was about to look for Dr. Tamaki's contact details when I suddenly noticed a new message had arrived from an anonymous email address. It had no subject line, and inside the email message it just said, "For review." I opened it, and attached to the email were a bunch of PDF documents. Maybe this was Dr. Tamaki's way of getting back to me anonymously. So I carefully opened the first PDF file. It seemed to be a scanned image of a medical study. The first thing I noticed was that it said confidential, not for release to public, printed in red capital letters across it. A secret medical study that wasn't for public release? Did this mean that it held some key information that could hurt shady drug companies' profits? My heart beating faster, I quickly downloaded all the attached PDFs from the anonymous email and printed them out. All of the studies were related to C-reactive protein in the body and how scientists had done plenty of testing on it. The purpose of their studies had been to find a new drug to target excess body fat. The scientists wanted to develop a super pill that allowed people to eat as much as they wanted of any kind of foods and stay slim. They'd studied the ancient diet of the natives in Okinawa, where Dr. Tamaki came from, as well as the diets of native tribes in Bolivia. In the experiments, scientists discovered a super powerful food substance called anthocyanins. Foods and drinks with high levels of anthocyanins are red cabbage, green tea, and spinach. One report explained exactly how to combine these powerful natural substances to destroy belly fat. Scientists had tested 140 different combinations of anthocyanins from different foods and had come up with one potent combination that blew away everything else in terms of results for weight loss. This one mix of anthocyanins had an astonishing effect on destroying fat cells. It also helped reduce symptoms of practically every major modern deadly condition in the Western world. This potent natural mixture actually heated up fat cells and caused them to be released as pure energy. For the men and women in the study, it was as though they were doing an intense workout, when in reality, they could be lying on the couch watching TV. The pharma companies were going to base their new fat-melting pill on this natural anthocyanin formula and patent it to make billions of dollars.
When I read this secret report, I felt dizzy, and my heart started pounding in my chest. I was nervous but very excited. I could finally save my sister's life with a proven, potent natural blend.
Here it was. The solution was right in front of me. All I had to do was mix the right foods, herbs, and spices they listed in the study, together with some water, and she would take it once a day. I called Susan, my hands shaking, and told her what I'd found. Susan's first reaction was excitement, like me. She had an idea of what this mind-blowing breakthrough could do for her. She imagined how her life would be transformed with effortless weight loss, a flat-toned belly, waking up from the deepest and most reinvigorating sleep every morning, and being free of all pain in her back and joints. She imagined the new burst of confidence. She imagined the feeling of pure happiness as she'd walk down the street on a beautiful spring day. How she'd be able to wear her favorite clothes again. How she could look great and feel sexy at the beach in her bikini, and how she could start swimming at the pool again. But Susan had been let down many times before. And as a cautious person, she still felt skeptical and wondered if this would really work. It all seemed so simple, and yet she'd believed for years that losing fat was a complicated, tough process. She reminded me that diets, meal plans, and even workouts had never made any difference. She needed to know for sure how these powerful substances would help her. I decided to show her the ingredients in the tonic and the rock-solid proof behind them that Dr. Tamaki had sent me. Then she could decide for herself. This first ingredient is the Japanese holy grail of fat loss and is said to be why so many people in Japan are in great shape without diet or exercise. It's called EGCG, and it's a plant compound found in green and white tea. Studies on humans showed that EGCG is linked to a reduction in body fat and is a potent stimulator of thermogenesis, the biochemical process which causes fat in the body to be burned as energy. Researchers found that by stimulating thermogenesis, EGCG can help burn extra calories and stave off fat. In other words, it converts more of your fat to energy. What's more, green tea is linked to skin cell rejuvenation, according to the Medical College of Georgia. And if you enjoy a cup of coffee or tea, that's great news, because EGCG burns fat even faster with caffeine. The second powerful ingredient is piperin, a potent antioxidant extracted from black pepper. Piperin has traditionally been used for centuries in Asia to assist troublesome digestion, but researchers from Sejong University in South Korea found that piperin blocks the formation of fat cells and supports healthy blood sugar metabolism. This means piperin works to prevent fat storage after a meal, which is why it helps keep you slim and toned once you've lost excess weight. The next powerful ingredient is an exotic fiber named inulin.